I just want to follow up on tonight's game. You got Stephon Castle and the Rising Stars team going up against the OGs.
Look at LeBron. He's getting ready to announce it. He's like, Dave doesn't know.
Kind of what's your approach to that new format, and what will we see from you tonight?
You won't see anything from me tonight. Unfortunately, I will not be in uniform tonight. Still dealing with ankle and foot discomfort, so I will not be playing tonight, unfortunately.
Not only did LeBron not play in this All-Star game, but when the games would be played, you wouldn't even see LeBron James on the bench. Like, you got the OGs playing and stuff, and LeBron wasn't even there to be seen. But LeBron would also not be there for the Saturday night event. You wouldn't even see him in the arena. I don't blame LeBron, though. I mean, who would want to be there? Even the three-point contest was trash. Oh, my gosh. But that's not what I want to talk about. I don't want to talk about the All-Star weekend specifically. I want to talk about this dude, Jimbo here. Sorry, Adam Silver here.
From the Rising Stars to the celebrity game, many different competitions around the city, and everything has gone really well so far.
Everything was going well, man. I would love to see his face when he realized LeBron wasn't going to play.
It's been a couple of weeks since the trade. I'm curious what...
The trade?
The trade. That's what we're... Capital T, capital T.
I want to talk about some of the things Adam Silver said about not just this trade here, but about a lot of things. And because Adam Silver, this might have been one of the worst press runs I've seen from the commissioner in a long time.
I'm wondering how you absorbed the initial news of the trade and how you've processed everything that's happened since, including the Dallas fans and the Fire Nico and all those things happening. And there's obviously a lot of anger. And how is this good for the league when a fan base feels very, very jilted right now?
So let me begin by saying, and I said this already, I was surprised when I heard about the trade. I did not know that Luka was potentially a player that was about to be traded. That was news to me. I followed it like a fan from that standpoint.
Look, the way the trade was reported, that might be true. Adam Silver might not have known. Okay, let me give him the benefit of the doubt because he says way worse things in this press conference.
And in terms of anger at the fan base, I'm empathetic. I understand it. I mean, Dallas was in the finals last year, and I've also said this before. I like Luka very much.
Yeah, he would talk about how he's sympathetic to Luka, but also the Mavs organization here.
I've known Nico Harrison for a long time from his prior tenure at Nike, and I've gotten to be close to Patrick Dumont, our new governor in Dallas. I can say one thing for sure: whether or not history will ultimately judge this as a smart trade, they did what they thought was in the best interest of their organization.
I'm so sure that's what they did. I'm so sure.
I have absolutely no knowledge or believe there were any ulterior motives. There's no doubt in my mind that the Dumont-Adelson families bought that team to keep it in Dallas. You know, I have no doubt whatsoever that they're committed to the long-term success of that franchise.
If you're curious about the ulterior motives and you didn't see the video that I posted recently, go check that out. It's going to pop up somewhere here at the top. Yeah, let's just say I'm not surprised at all that he addressed it this way. And regarding the future of the league, Adam Silver made a crazy proposition to Dan Patrick recently that got the headlines going crazy.
Give me the wildest thing that you guys have considered. I'm sure there's always, we're going to try this. The NFL doing the kickoff the way they did.
Something else that I'm a fan of, and I'm probably in a minority, as we get more involved in global basketball, the NBA is the only league that plays 48 minutes. And I am a fan of 4 10-minute quarters. I'm not sure that many others are. I mean, putting aside what it means for records and things like that, I think that a 2-hour format for a game is more consistent with sort of modern television habits. I don't think people in arenas aren't asking us to shorten the game, but I think as a television program, being 2 hours, that's Olympic basketball, is 2 hours, college basketball, of course, is.
Yeah, but if you.
Also, apparently Adam Silver is very mindful of the people at home watching on television. I'll talk about this more at the end, but it didn't seem like they were very mindful on Sunday. But yeah, this idea of 10-minute quarters, people talked about it like, why would the NBA do that? Why would they shorten the games like that? That makes no sense. Oh, you want to keep in touch with the global game. Bro, you're the NBA. That's your brand. Own up to the fact that you play 48 minutes. Ideally, I would look at it and say that's what makes me stand out from the rest of the world in terms of basketball. And in terms of when the game of basketball was first invented, From the very get-go, the rules, some of the rule sets were very arbitrary. Like, at first, it was 9 people on each team on the field. Not just that, the 10-foot, right? The reason why the basket is a 10-foot is because that's how high the ledge of the gym was to where they could place the basket 10 foot up. So, like, a lot of the rules we have today are basically arbitrary rules that, you know, we're there by happenstance. And I feel like the NBA having 48 minutes is not really an issue. It's not something that Adam Silver should really look to address. Him being a fan of it makes me scared that he'll actually try to reduce the quarter minutes. Like, no. We all know one needs to be reduced in terms of, you know, time in the game. But we'll get to that later. And in this recent All-Star press conference, he said he was happy about the state of the league and that in terms of the three-point shooting, he even said it was an egalitarian shot, right? He said it gave people with, you know, smaller sizes an advantage or a boost in terms of the playing level. And that apparently he's paying attention to all the stuff that people say online, all the criticisms levied at the NBA. So I suppose you can't say that he's not being proactive in terms of the rule changes. I mean, he's done many tournaments and stuff. And again, we'll get into some of these things in this video. Now, shout out Rachel Nichols for bringing this question up to Adam Silver regarding the officiating. Okay, she mentioned how the players, a lot of them basically were criticizing a lot of the officiating that was going on.
They're fucking terrible. Yeah, all of them, besides the woman. Yeah, but the other 2 dudes, terrible. Excuses, the reason they call a foul, the reason they don't call a foul, the shit was terrible. They don't want to talk back to my coach. They don't want to talk back to me. I said one thing to the ref, and he gave me a tech.
And it's clear from watching the games, from seeing how players react now to certain calls, they're starting to get tired of a lot of the refereeing that's going on out here. What Silver said about Curry and what he had to say about the grading system was very interesting to me.
To your point about transparency, I think that's one that the officials also have their own union. Everyone in this room is familiar with human resources issues, you know, and that nobody necessarily wants to have their employment record published. And I think we just have to find the right balance there.
That's why Steph said, look, our stats are public. Why aren't theirs public, bro? It's not about them being trouble with human resources, because clearly you've been transparent about the last 2-minute reports, whether or not the call is being correct or not. Why can't you further be more transparent about how well the referees perform on the game-to-game basis? Him deflecting from that point, basically saying it's a human resource issue, tells me that it's like he wants to keep it the way it is, with the referees having this much more power and very little accountability be set on them, because this is what it's about, holding these dudes accountable for how stupid they can be.
If you were a player for the day, what would you do?
I would stop complaining about officiating.
And that statement alone, I know it was said jokingly, tells me, yeah, he doesn't want to change much in terms of accountability, because he wants the officials to hold as much power as possible for reasons that you at home can speculate. The NBA was trying to cash in on the Clark frenzy, and Clark said no, in what was an epic power move, in which I'm happy to see Caitlin just saying, nah, I'm not going to try to help you out. Let these MNBA players figure it out on their own. They don't need me to prop them up.
And I did speak directly to Steph and Sabrina about it. Last year was so magical, that competition, that it started to feel forced. And I think there was concern from all of us that we just weren't feeling it, that we were at the point where it felt like we were, even though I had been public, I had said that I was very hopeful or said it was going to happen again, and I think so had they, that it just got to the point where I don't know how to say it other than we just weren't collectively feeling it.
Weren't collectively feeling it. It's literally the highlight of last year's All-Star weekend. And now you're saying it's forced. And I'm assuming they're only saying this because Caitlin Clark didn't want to, be part of all this. A lot of the hype last year was built up off of the fact that, next year Caitlin Clark's coming in the league. She came, she played, and she didn't want to be part of this. And so the NBA had to pivot. And pivot they did to what was, to me, the worst free-point contest in quite a long time. Tyler Hero ended up winning the free-point contest, and even he himself said that he was lucky to do so.
Okay, Tyler, do you really need a chain now?
I got lucky. I thought Buddy was going to run off the last 5 there, so it was a great competition.
Matt McClung saved the dunk contest. Call me a hater all you want, but he's not an NBA player. I do not give a damn about this dude. 2 for 1. He's in a two-way, so technically he is an NBA player. A two-way player that's only played 1 game this season. How many minutes was that? He played 5 minutes of basketball this season for the Orlando Magic, in which he scored 0 points. Let's see, 2 assists, 1 rebound. Oh, and how many more games did he play before that? I think he only played 4 games prior, so he only played 5 games in his career. He's only signed to this team for marketing purposes because they know he's gonna go back to the dunk contest because nobody else wants to do it. No star wants to do it. So we're gonna keep parading what, quite frankly, is the NBA's circus animal here. I mean, did you guys even know who the Osceola Magic were before Matt McClung showed up? And I'm not gonna lie, that dunk was impressive. I'm pretty sure even Blake Griffin will tell you he outdid him. He outdid Blake Griffin's car dunk during the slam dunk contest. And I'm not gonna lie, McClung as a dunker is one of the best we've ever seen in the history of the NBA. But having said all that, he's not a real NBA player. So I'm not gonna care too much about this. It's basically like having a professional dunker compete because he's on a two-way with the Osceola Magic, Orlando Magic. Like, the fuck are we doing, bro? I'm sorry. Like, I know I'm a hater. I know. But this just further bastardizes what was already a joke of a dunk contest, you know, running for a couple of years now. 2 for 1, you're never going to be happy. You're never going to like the dunk contest if you're going to act like this with McClung. Is it too much to ask that the players that are participating in this contest are players that I have watched regularly on the NBA? Like, how can I be invested in McClung's story when we're not going to see him again until next February? And now we're getting into the All-Star game, which I think by far is the worst All-Star game that I've ever seen. And most of it has nothing to do with the game played. It was because not just the format, but yeah, let's just get into this. All right, folks,
Reggie,
I'm going to now time this
was
game.
his warm-up.
This
Let's
is
go.
also a matchup that
Shots fired. Stephen Curry, a running three-pointer.
I'll be honest, bro. This game went on for like 4 minutes until timeout happened.
Oh, my 5th and final. Timeout.
How about 0 for 10 and 0 for 6 for the Chuckster? Jordan only in theaters April 18th.
Did you call timeout? What happened? Yes, 2 for 1. They put an ad break that was lasting 4 minutes long, by the way. I just seen somebody tweet he turned the game on and they saw Shea. They saw Shea at the line. I thought I was going to get some basketball game back, but no. Why? Why are you showing this on the big board? Kevin Hart with your wife beater on the legend. I'll be honest, this is one of the worst displays of self-flagellation I've ever seen. They honored TNT with some sort of tribute, and Kevin Hart with the worst punchline of a joke I've ever seen. It was bad. Commercial break. More commercials! My nigga, what was that? How is there more commercials? How? How is there more commercials, bro? What? How is there more commercials after what we just saw? It's been 13 minutes. There hasn't been a basketball dribbled yet. Oh my God, this is so miserable. 15 straight minutes of no basketball, just ads and tributes.
Resume play here as we take a look at tonight's FanDuel Live point.
This league will go to hell. This league will go to the depths of hell. This stupid sports
But a beautiful moment with our inside guys. And
the game will not come on until 2 minutes later.
so Riley, she was one of the ball girls. She's at USC, so yeah, there's a lot of great names. Farm Albert.
I won't lie, the bar was very low, but this All-Star game was still shit. This was one of the worst, if not the worst All-Star game I've seen.
I think they're going to change the format back to just a straight.
Oh,
There it is.
nigga, what?
Go ahead.
Oh, that's not what we want to see.
There you go.
31 minutes and 55 seconds of airtime with less than 13 minutes of it being NBA game time. I mean, it's just so sad, bro, what this league has become. The All-Star game may be played out at this point. Kevin Hart was the worst I've ever seen him in terms of, you know, being a performer during the All-Star weekend. Shout out to this Reddit post that basically outlined the minute by minute basis of every like game event and the ads. 80 minutes of ads, 42 minutes of actual basketball, and that also includes like the dead balls during the game, you know, when the game is still going on technically. If you look at all possessions, Automatic made a great tweet. This is how much actual basketball was played, where League Pass has the game where you can watch it by possession, and that basically adds up to less than 30 minutes of actual basketball being played, bro. Or just about over 30 minutes if I actually do the math correctly. The TNT crew, this was their last time hosting an All-Star weekend on their network, and it felt like they wanted to shoot everybody in the foot in terms of just making this the worst presentation overall. Kevin Hart, I thought he was funny. I thought he was a comedian, and he was just horrible throughout this whole All-Star weekend. Kevin Hart was supposed to be the quote-unquote MC of the All-Star weekend during the game, and I'm not gonna lie, even the players got sick of it.
There could be a code Kev.
Yeah.
And we haven't seen one yet. We don't know what to expect. Are we getting close?
Ernie, when I give a code Kev, it's going to be necessary. I think right now it's just time to talk about the game of basketball. Chuck is doing a horrible job of coaching. His bigs are all over the place. They're shooting way too many threes.
By the way, that whole code Kev thing that we saw earlier, he never even pressed the button. There was nothing happened with this code Kev. Like, there's a red button here that he never pressed. It's just there for show, I guess. And then he's sounding like Shaq and Chuck here talking about the bigs are shooting too many threes. Like, these people were literally just roasting the players the whole time. Shea got sick of it. He was like, yo, bro, just get on with it already. We're trying to play basketball.
I want to see guards be guards. I want to see big men be big men. SGA, get the ball, do work, clear it out, do what you do. You wore the mustard color sneakers. Make the mustard colors work. You got on the mustards, make them work. Come on.
And during that whole TNT tribute that happened in the middle of the game, by the way, it was so stupid. You could hear how the players were sick of it. They were like, bro, we're trying to play basketball right now.
I said, were you not entertained? Go, Jeff.
You can clearly hear Jaylen Brown even on the broadcast. I think they muted, they snuffed him a little bit during, you know, this little YouTube video that they got here. He said, get them the hell out of here. We're trying to play some basketball. Like, bro, they were sick of it. They were tired of it. The players were like, what the hell are we doing? Okay, this whole tribute was happening during the middle of a game. Like, this is not halftime. This isn't the intermission. No, this is literally in the middle of a freaking game. Shit is actually crazy. I'm not gonna lie. NBA, I'm not gonna lie. Y'all gotta fix this, bro. This is bad. Hello, YouTube. This is MrBeast here with a challenge. $100,000. Like, bro, they got MrBeast in this shit, bro. It was disgusting. Like, I felt like I was watching a corporate event for 3 hours with basketball in between. You had Draymond basically trying to patch his way into a media career in the NBA by being the biggest complainer about the All-Star weekend. And to his credit, I think he's right on some of the things he's saying, but wrong messenger, okay? And this is an outlook on the grim realities of the NBA's vision here. The NBA sees itself as something bigger than basketball. It sees itself as a global game. And their appeal seems to be mostly on the social media side. Adam Silver publicly said he does not care too much about TV ratings. He looks more at engagement in social media and in global jersey sales, attendance in arenas. He does not care too much about TV ratings. And to be quite fair to him, I see what he's trying to say when Shaq and Kevin Hart's height difference video has the most views on NBA social media accounts, with Kevin Hart and Shaq jokes getting another couple million views. Another Kevin Hart video getting millions of views. Wemby, who was a highlight of this All-Star weekend and who actually played hard, that got less than 55,000 views. What does that tell us about the future of this league? Steph Curry threes tracker 1 million. Team Shaq top 10 plays 3 million views. I mean, it just goes to show you what gets plays on TikTok and what the NBA is going to try to cater to moving forward when it comes to some of these, you know, gigs and gags and jokes that they try to pull off with the younger audience. NBA is a corporation, it's a business like much like everything else. and it sees the numbers that their post gets, and if they see that some posts get more views than others, it's gonna try to, just like any other content creator, do more of those videos. That's how it works. And I guess the people, they still love to see Kevin Hart either roasting or getting roasted by people. I'm Silver. Your time as a commissioner, I hope, will run out very soon. But I doubt that much of this will be fixed with a new commissioner. We're cooked, buddy. We're cooked. All right. That was today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Peace out.